how every NFL team can win the Super Bowl this year. Number 1, the Cincinnati Bengals. The now nearly bald and blonde Joe Burrow gonna have to carry the Bengals to at very least an AFC North championship. And luckily for the Bengals, they seem to be the only team that is immune to the potential threat of Patrick Mahomes. So realistically, besides the Chiefs, they probably have the best odds to win the Super Bowl out of the AFC besides the Chiefs. And I think all it's gonna take is replicating a little bit of obviously the 2021 run, I believe, and this time getting the job done, which they should have in the Super Bowl, but they sold for multiple drives in a row. Number 2, the Tennessee Titans. Well, first of all, Tony Pollard is going to have to be everything Derrick Henry was ever. Number 2, Will Levis is going to have to really just win MVP. I mean, he had potential for at least a couple throws in one game last year to one of the best deep threat wide receivers in the league, so yeah. But now with Calvin Ridley, they have a much better chance at making the playoffs, and once you're in the playoffs, really anything can happen, except the Miami Dolphins. Well, first of all, they're going to have to use all of that talent and speed, not get hurt, and their defense is going to really have to show up in the regular season, because at this point right now, they almost seem to have a cap at a wild card berth and maximum 11 wins. So they're really going to have to break the mold. Tyreek Hill, he's obviously going to be going insane anyway. Tua, he's already been going insane. Just needs to stay healthy. But the defense is going to have to turn on. Now for the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix is going to have to turn into prime John Elway. The defense is going to have to take a massive step forward after losing key pieces. And honestly, jokes on the table, the last time the Broncos made a full rebrand with brand new jerseys and everything, they won 2 Super Bowls in a row. So guess you never know. Atlanta Falcons. Well, because they basically already have the NFC South won. That's step 1. Next, Kirk Cousins is going to have to fight the crap out of his demons, or just get hurt and let Michael Penix go on a Nick Foles type of run. But either way, their offense with their new head coach is going to have to be clicking with Bijan, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, all getting touches. And their defense is really just going to hold down the house. But with Captain Kirk at the helm, realistically, we're talking 9-10 wins and a wild card loss maximum. But this is about how they could win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, Falcons, you have a 1 in 32 chance. Pretty good odds. Now, the New Jersey Jets. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to turn it on. As I mean, the last time his team drafted a young quarterback named Jordan, he won 2 MVPs, so I think this is completely possible. The defense, which is already looking incredible, is going to obviously have to take an elite step. And overall, with the playmakers that they have, Breece Hall is going to have to stay healthy. Garrett Wilson is already incredible. So all you really need is for Robert Saleh to not turn into prime Adam Gase. And, I mean, the Jets have a shot. Los Angeles Chargers. Jim Harbaugh is going to have to turn into 2024 Jim Harbaugh. Justin Herbert literally doesn't have to do anything. But Quentin Johnston, maybe he could help by, I don't know, catching. Maybe. The defense led by Khalil Mack, maybe elite. And you never know, maybe we could see another Harbaugh Bowl in the AFC Championship game. And maybe the Chargers could pull it out. Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, for one, Trevor Lawrence is going to have to become Clemson Trevor Lawrence, or at least what he was projected to be in the NFL at all. But to get there, their defense is obviously going to have to turn it on a little bit. And obviously, if this were to come to fruition, I'm sure Doug Peterson would have his meat just flying it all around the place. Dallas Cowboys. Well, for one, Jerry Jones is going to have to die in a pit of fire. Mike McCarthy is going to have to get fired before the season even starts. CeeDee Lamb won't leave. And Ezekiel Elliott will turn back into prime Ezekiel Elliott, which won't last very long, but I mean, it'll be prime Ezekiel Elliott, I guess. But let's just be honest, ain't happening. Detroit Lions. Honestly, not too much. This is one of the first ones where it's actually going to be pretty possible. Just staying consistent and just get a little bit more there at the end. Giants. Well, for one, Daniel Jones is going to have to prove that he's even worth a slight sliver of what he was paid. Their defensive line will become number 1, which honestly really is possible. And I don't know, dude. Brian Daboll is going to have to turn it on from 2023 Philly. Honestly, another very, very possible one. We're just going to have to stay healthy, especially Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts is going to have to turn back into Jalen Hurts. And all of the young guys that were replacing, obviously Jason Kelce, Fletcher Cox, are going to really have to step up and replace them well. But I already know it's coming. Mahomes, meet us New Orleans, 2025. We're ready. Kansas City Chiefs. Literally, you guys could probably regress and you'd be just fine. Literally, just, it doesn't matter. Travis Kelce can retire. Andy Reid could probably retire as well. I don't know, dude. You just need Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, Chiefs probably going to win it anyway. Buccaneers. Baker is going to have to defy the rules of physics itself to break the Baker Mayfield cycle. Mike Evans is going to say Mike Evans. And oh yeah, Chris Godwin is still on the Buccaneers. Don't know how they kept both of them, but they did. The old-ass defense, which is getting younger, is going to have to do really well, obviously. I guess really the one thing that could make this possible, it would be winning the NFC South, because then you're in the playoffs, and then anything could happen. Browns. Well, Deshaun Watson is going to have to just forget about anything that happened between 2019-ish to really now, and turn back the clock and turn into his potential MVP self. And honestly, that's all they need. They just need a good quarterback, and this team could go anywhere. They have a good quarterback. They have one of the best defenses in the league. They have fantastic options. They almost got Brandon Ayuk. I mean, they literally had him, but then Brandon Ayuk was like, if I was Brandon Ayuk, I think I probably messed up, if I'm being honest. I would have absolutely taken Cleveland. Vikings. Well, in reality, I think they should absolutely be starting Sam Darnold, but that is not going to get them anywhere, so I just say throw J.J. McCarthy in the mix if you want a chance this year. I guess Justin Jefferson stays like Justin Jefferson, as I mean, literally through 10 games, he had 1,000 goddamn yards. Insane. But yeah, I guess just stay healthy. Defense returns to his former late 2010s, I guess. I mean, it was also really good in the early 2010s, so I guess former forms of the Vikings defense, I guess, would probably be pretty good. Cardinals. Kyler Murray turns into an MVP candidate. The young defense is good, I guess. And yeah, I mean, realistically, the only thing the Cardinals really need to make the playoffs is a good, healthy Kyler Murray, which I don't know if we're going to get that anymore. But that's really the bare minimum for the playoffs if the Cardinals want to make it there. Niners. I'd say don't fall to the Madden curse, Christian, and just keep doing Niners things, I guess. Not really too much you can change except for finishing. Which, I mean, I know it is Mahomes, but the Niners are historically bad since the 90s at finishing big games, even though they've been to a lot of them. Panthers. A meteorite hits Earth, killing everyone alive except for everyone in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Roger Goodell. So when the smoke is cleared, Roger Goodell has nothing to do but say that the Panthers are Super Bowl champions. Colts. Anthony Richardson becomes invincible and an MVP candidate, while Jonathan Taylor stays healthy and returns to former Jonathan Taylor self. And our defense just gets better? I don't know. Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, they're already guaranteed at least 9 wins, so I guess the most likely option to win the bowl is to either have Russell Wilson start and have him return to former self, which I think after many years of experimenting with that, I don't know if it's possible. Or have Justin Fields do kick returns and quarterbacking at the same time, so that they could get a touchdown on either kick returns or have him rush for 1,000 yards and pass for 4,000. Or maybe Brandon Ayuk. Still don't know if that's happening yet. I doubt it, but the Steelers are the only other trade option at this point, so I mean, you never know. And the defense really just stays its usual stealth. TJ Watt can finally prove that he's better than Myles Garrett. Packers. Honestly, Jordan Love and the rest of the Packers just continue their trajectory. And, I mean, if they continue that, I think they're directly in the path for the Super Bowl. Personally, probably not this year, but this is about winning it this year, so I think they just take an even bigger leap than everyone did last year. The young defense stays incredible and gets even better. And Jordan Love is a top 3 quarterback. Rams. They really just turn it back to 2022. And their young D-line replace Aaron Donald, which just won't be happening. I'm sorry to say, but I mean, oh, sorry, this is about winning now. And the young defensive line fully replaces and gets better than Aaron Donald. Puka Nacua becomes the best receiver in the league, and Cooper Kupp is a nice second option. While Matthew Stafford, I guess, turns back the clock, or maybe it's Stetson Bennett. I mean, Stetson Bennett would probably also have to turn back the clock considering how old that guy is. Commanders. Jaden Daniels proves that the preseason is not just the preseason, and he goes ballistic. With Terry McLaurin, Austin Eckler turns back to his usual goal line merchant himself and stops fumbling the goddamn ball away. The defense becomes fully elite, which I think is totally possible in the next few years. Seattle Sea Dogs. Geno Smith and Sam Howell swap snaps. Not swap them, but split them. So that all of the snaps that Sam Howell throws picks on, Geno Smith is in. And all the times Geno Smith is acting like his usual Geno Smith self, Sam Howell is in. So they get the perfect quarterback combination in NFL history. And now Russell Wilson can laugh and say that Pete Carroll really was the problem. Ravens. Patrick Mahomes dies. Joe Burrow probably also has to die. Josh Allen probably as well. and maybe even CJ Stroud. And the Ravens get some sort of cupcake in the Super Bowl, like the Cowboys or the Panthers, so that Lamar can finally say that he is an elite quarterback, and he finally doesn't have to worry about playoffs. Saints. The Saints go 8-9, promptly missing the playoffs, but with the power of hurricanes fully mastered by the city of New Orleans, they use it to hide the Superdome so that no Super Bowl can be played there, and just take the Lombardi for themselves. Buffalo Bills. The NFL bans field goals, and Josh Allen does Josh Allen things, so that the curse of the Bills can finally be put to rest. New England Patriots. Tom Brady becomes a commentator, buys a bit of the Raiders, and starts playing for the Patriots. And by playing, I mean sitting on a wheelchair at the sideline, doing basically the same thing he did all of his career, which was willing the Patriots to win. Las Vegas Raiders. Devontae Adams, instead of going to Aaron Rodgers, recruits Aaron Rodgers to come to Las Vegas so that he can return to his Hall of Fame level quarterbacking. As Max Crosby mans down that defense, Antonio Pierce proves that he actually is a good coach, and the entire AFC crumples and dies. Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams breaks the Johnny Lujack curse and goes on to win League MVP, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Zestiest Player of the Year. Oh wait, that's not one? Oh well. He deserves it. And through Caleb's zestiness and the Bears now becoming another elite defense, as well as potentially elite offense, the Bears go into win now mode, and the Bears go full 1985 and produce a fantastic music video, but sadly they just lose out on the Grammys, I don't know how the music industry works, to Taylor Swift. And the Bears go on a 15-1 run to win the Super Bowl. And finally, the Houston Texans. Really just the same trajectory as the Packers, another possible one here. Their defense fully becomes elite, manned down by Will Anderson and Derek Stingley. CJ Stroud truly becomes the best quarterback in the league, and the Texans win the Super Bowl. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Making a lot of content kind of like this, as well as College Football 25, especially Madden 25. Yeah, I got a big one for College Football 25 coming out soon, so yeah, hope you enjoyed. See ya.